Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing foreign land ownership yet again. Been a major topic in the news out there, this notion of foreigners being able to own. Currently what's being talked about is 1 rai of land. It is not on the books as Thai law right now. It's just simply being vetted by the various agencies and the cabinet having to do with the issue just in general. I mean, the land office, etc. Which kind of brings me to the reason I thought of making this video. It was after reading a recent article from the Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, "Land a Very Sensitive Issue." And I believe this was an editorial, but quoting directly, "The government has had its fair share of complaints recently over its foreign land ownership policy, with accusations that they are, quote unquote, selling off the country to foreigners. The Interior Minister, General Anupong Paujinda, had to defend the policy in a House of Representatives session on Thursday, and then quoting Kun Anupong directly, quote, "For those who are concerned it will lead to foreign land grabs, we'll further add regulations to prohibit them from buying connected plots." Quoting further, "The plan can be scrapped if people have serious concerns. We don't see it as a loss of face," General Anupong said. I want to reread that real quick. The plan can be scrapped if people have serious concerns. We won't see it as a loss of face. So, I mean, that pretty well, I kind of think that, I think it's unlikely we're ultimately going to see this thing promulgated. I think there's a lot of blowback on this. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but you can read all about it. I would urge those watching this video, go check out Bangkok Post, go check out that article in detail. Bangkok Post has got a lot more up-to-date stuff on the politics behind this. Long story short, I think it's rather unlikely. Folks are also, you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, and I know it's not a particularly popular thing to say, especially among the Farang community, but yeah, I'm not overly enthusiastic about this bill. I don't really see how it's going to greatly help Thailand, and I can see a lot of ways that it could be detrimental to Thailand. So on a personal level, just so, you know, full disclosure, so you can understand where my bias is at, you know, I'm pretty well against it. I'm somewhere between ambivalent and against is probably where you put me. I think just not changing anything would be fine. Another thing, I was thinking about this over the weekend. You know, they always talk about this sort of glut, quote unquote, of condos in Thailand, which I would argue isn't really an accurate assessment when you look at the overall market. There's a glut in certain sectors, and then there's, you know, certain types of condos are actually kind of hard to find. But there are condos available. They're out there, and foreigners can already buy those. Now, I know there are foreigners that don't really, you know, like the prospect of having a Thai condo. Okay, that's fine. But as I've said before in other videos, I think the costs or maybe the downsides to Thailand associated with this proposal, I think pretty substantially outweigh any major benefits to the country that I think would be had by this. Because honestly, the way it's set up, I just don't see a ton of people using it. So if it's being discussed as a methodology of bringing in a bunch of foreign investment, I mean, I just don't see that happening. I just don't see these great numbers. Meanwhile, there are, I think, substantial long-term possible downsides to it. A number of them. I made other videos and discussed those at length. So, you know, the thing, I guess, to take away from this video is, one, a week ago, this was kind of bandied about as a foregone conclusion. We made videos explaining that, look, you know, this is still being debated. And then now there's clearly a lot of opposition to it, and sort of in the run-up with everything that's going on politically, I could definitely just see this thing at the very, my thinking is it'll either be defeated outright, or it'll just be kind of put on the back burner, and it'll be another one of those things that we don't hear about for a while, if ever. So again, remains to be seen. We'll certainly keep people updated on this channel as the situation evolves.